Last week, police arrested an Anne Arundel County public schools teacher on sexual abuse charges.
And tonight, 11 News investigates. Talk to an expert about grooming techniques and warning signs that parents should watch out for. Investigative reporter Tolly Taylor joins us now. Tolly, you interviewed someone who helps schools and organizations create their child protection policies.
Yeah, and she explains how to talk to your child about staying vigilant and which behaviors adults should watch out for. And then there's this. One of the behaviors that she describes shows up repeatedly in charging documents for the Severna Park Elementary School teacher.
We call them the grooming behaviors. So we want organizations and youth-serving institutions to really pay attention to how adults are interacting with young people.
Allison D'Alessandro is a senior policy specialist at the Center for Hope in Baltimore. And its Child Advocacy Center specializes in helping children who have witnessed or experienced abuse.
We also want to remember that, 90% of offenders is someone the child knows, loves, or trusts.
On Thursday, Severna Park Elementary School third grade teacher Matthew Schlegel was arrested at his home and charged with 36 counts of child sex abuse and other crimes. On Friday, a judge ordered that Schlegel should be held without bond at his bail review in Annapolis. The judge saying he had concerns about the community's safety. D'Alessandro agreed to talk to 11 News Investigates on the condition that no specific cases were discussed. And the interview occurred before the charging documents were filed in court.
There's different ways that a offender will go about to try to earn the trust of the child.
At one point, D'Alessandro discussed the different ways a predator will test children to see which of them are more vulnerable.
And it might start with, like a touch, on the leg, and then progress if there's no adult around to stop it.
Charging documents show 5 of the 8 female students who came forward accusing the 44-year-old teacher detailed similar behavior, with 2 of the girls telling Child Protective Service workers during forensic interviews that Schlegel touched their thighs. One of the 2 saying that while she was sitting on his lap at his desk, Schlegel stroked the inside and outside of her thighs. 3 other students told CPS workers that he used a pencil to touch them, with one of them disclosing that Schlegel touched her with a pencil under her shorts and underwear on more than one occasion during his math class. After Friday's bail review, 11 News Investigates interviewed Schlegel's defense attorney.
He wants to defend himself, he's innocent, and he intends to present a vigorous defense to these allegations.
While a couple dozen parents and supporters of the students showed up for the bail review on Friday, Schlegel had 20 people there supporting him as well, including his wife.
She is 100% supportive of her husband because she knows he's innocent.
D'Alessandro encourages parents and caregivers to talk with children about which behaviors are inappropriate.
We want to teach them the difference between secrets and surprises. Like, secrets are not okay. No adult should ever be asking a child to, keep any sort of secret, especially any sort of secret that involves touching.
She says parents should begin teaching kids about consent at a very young age.
And when parents are having kind of ongoing conversations, then kids are more likely to come to them and talk to them when something makes them feel uncomfortable.
A spokesperson for Anne Arundel County Public Schools says Schlegel is still a district employee, but that his employee status is under review. And a new court filing shows that the teacher will have another bail review, this time in circuit court on Tuesday afternoon, where defense attorney Peter O'Neill is expected to argue again that Schlegel should be released pending his hearing in June. We'll be there on Tuesday to provide the latest details. For 11 News Investigates, I'm Tolly Taylor.